Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. I know what you're thinking. Scotty, what happened to your luscious goatee? Well, it's still here. It's just trimmed down. It's still there. Don't worry. It'll grow back eventually. I needed to trim it. I was messing with it too much, but here I am. I didn't think it'd go down this far though, but it's fine. It'll grow back, like I said. Anyway, let's not worry about my luscious mane. All right, it'll come back. It'll come back. I promise. Anyway, um, Chicken Little. I just want to say a wow, and not in a good way. Wow. So I remember when this came out. Much like with Treasure Planet, it was heavily promoted on Disney Channel back in the day, 2005. My brother was 7. I was 18. I was 18. Adult man, but I was still watching Disney Channel because whatever, my choice. Shut up. Anyway, but I remember they were promoting it with a music video for the song One Little Slip, which they said they were hyping around this music video. It's the world premiere of the music video for Chicken Little. It's One Little Slip by B&L. I'm like, B&L? Who the hell is B&L? What? So the music video plays, and quite literally I see in front of me the Bare Naked Ladies, which they called B&L because it's Disney Channel and can't say Bare Naked Ladies. Yeah, that stuck with me. It's like, really? It's a band name, and you're just gonna put out their initials because you get them to play a song for your movie, but you're not gonna, because it's whatever. Keep in mind, they were still having smoking in their movies at this time, I believe. Well, unless Last Empire had it in there, it's probably the last of it, and that was in 2001, so maybe not. But, So Chicken Little. If I told you that they made a movie based on the children's story, Chicken Little, you'd say, wait, how can they do that? The whole story is the chicken is walking around, Chicken Little's walking around, he gets hit in the head with an acorn, thinks the sky is falling, tells everyone what's happening, but it turns out it's just an acorn. Moral of the story, don't let your imagination get too ahead of you. Right? Well, the writers of this film should have listened to that moral because they decided to take away that moral lesson for children, not to let their imagination get the best of them, not to, overthink a situation. Forget that. Let's add aliens. Yep. Aliens. And for the longest time, I didn't know that's what it was. Until, my brother was watching it. When the DVD came out, he was watching it. And I happened to walk by when he was watching it. And I saw it, and it was aliens, and I went, no, this is too much. No, this is too much. He's like, what? I'm like, did you know the story? The story of Chicken Little. The story of Chicken Little is he gets hit in the head with an acorn, and the moral of the story is not to over-imaginate, not to, overthink something like that. But they said, screw that, we're going to add aliens. And my God, if that wasn't bad enough, the aliens are the least of the problems with this movie, because this movie is... Oh boy. So we got Chicken Little, whose name's not really Chicken Little, they call him that. Ace Cluck. I don't know. And we start with him ringing the town bell. They have a town bell. I don't know. 2005? Who knows? And we get everyone running in. He says the sky was falling and something fell on his head, but he couldn't find what fell on his head, which plays in it later. The dad, worst dad in the world, by the way. Sorry, folks. By the way, it's voiced by Gary Marshall. And this movie starts with Gary Marshall narrating. It's like, that's Gary Marshall's voice. I wonder, he's just a narrator. No, he's Chicken Little's father. The 70-year-old, not 70-year-old, at this point, in his 70s, 60s, 70s, whatever, mid-60s at least. guy's playing someone's dad. Okay, he's just a voice, but he sounds like an old man in a chicken. Whatever. It's Gary Marshall, so that's cool. But they make fun of, they do the Lion King opening. No, not that. And in the storybook, the storybook thing, nah, no one wants that, no one wants that. And then we start the story. And so he said something fell on him. It looked just like the sky. It was a piece of the sky that looked just like a stop sign, but without the stop, it looked like there was clouds on it. And he says it fell out of the sky, but they can't prove it. So that's like, okay, I'm sorry, folks. This is embarrassing. Just keep moving along. And so everyone hates him so much they're making a movie out of it called Crazy Little Chicken, the movie. Say, what? Did I not have? They have too much free time. They have too much free time in this stuff. And then the movie starts. Like, we get the intro. One little slip. Two Chicken Little just having bad luck where there's a piece of gum he gets stuck on, almost get hit by a freaking car. Imagine if that happened. Movie's over. One little slip. No. But yeah, and then he gets locked in his locker and is not able to make it to class. We see all the other characters. Foxy Loxy, Loosey Goosey, Runt of the Litter, who is actually a huge pig, but is actually the smallest in his family, although they show his mother later, and she's not bigger than him, really. Not really. They're Ugly Duckling, or Abby Mallard. She's an ugly duckling. Sure. But they go way too far with that, too, because, like, even the teacher who is... By the way, I get it. This is animals. There's no Spanish class. There's mutton class. Is that a language? Say it's speaking sheep. And, of course, every word is bah. Ha! Comedy! I'm sitting there watching this, I'm going, it's not funny. Every word is bah. It's supposed to be that ironic humor that, and maybe 18-year-old Scotty would have laughed at it. Hell, even 7-year-old Scotty, that my brother, was. I'm like, that's not funny. That's not funny. Every word is bah. Of course it would be. That's what sheeps speak. Bah. At least other shows and movies get creative with their language. Think of Emperor's New Groove, right? The squirrel. It would just be... But they come up with their creative language for Kronk to speak to it. Squeaky squeak, squeak, squeaker, squeaklet. That is different. No, every bah, bah, bah. That's not funny. That's stupid. It's not funny. No. So, Chicken tells his dad, I want to play baseball. His dad basically says, no, you suck. You can't play baseball. You suck. I made Happy Days. You suck. Basically, not a Happy Days part. Basically, he's saying you suck. You can't play baseball. No. But he does anyway, and then they just put him on the bench. But, luckily for him, everybody on the team gets injured, so he's put in to the baseball team, and they just say, don't hit it. Just, let him walk it off. But he's going to hit it, and everyone says, don't hit it, don't hit it, don't hit it. He hits it, then gets a home run, and then dad is proud because his son succeeded. Look. A good father is not someone who cheers for their son when they succeed. It's cheering for your child when they need you to. Supporting your child when they need you to. You don't just cheer them on and support them when they're doing good things, when they're winning. You gotta support them when they lose. You gotta support them when there's problems, not just, And this dad of the year, this guy, sarcasm. Dad of the year, this guy. Of course, now that his son is popular and got the winning game home run, he's proud of his son again. But wouldn't you know it, there's ugly heads because aliens show up. The aliens are there because he finds that piece of the sky that fell, and it turns out it's a camouflaging piece of a spaceship. We find out later. But he and his friends investigate it and fish out of water. That's a funny joke. Even though he's technically in water, he's a fish, but he's got it's kind of like Sandy and SpongeBob, got the helmet on, And SpongeBob does it too, and he goes into Sandy's dome. He puts the thing over him, which begs the question why his hands and legs wouldn't shrivel up. But the fish, I'm not sure about SpongeBob. I think he has a whole suit, but maybe he doesn't. No, they put over it. I don't know. It's funny, whatever. That was a funny joke. Like fish out of water. That was funny. Bah, not funny. Fish out of water, funny. But fish out of water gets kidnapped. So it's the ugly duckling run of the litter, which that's kind of funny. Run of the litter, but he's big. Chicken Little, they go to the spaceship to save him. And when they come down, the spaceship's there. And finally, they race and they get to the bell. And he goes to ring the bell and he thinks back all the bad stuff that happened at the beginning of the movie. And there's still like two aliens coming at them. He rings the bell. And this is where it really pissed me off because you didn't need to do this. The only reason why? We had to pad out the wrong time. This makes no fucking sense to me. This pissed me the hell off to the point I was about to shut it off. I was like, I'm not doing this movie. I'm like, don't do what I think you're going to do or I'm done with this movie. And I actually paused it and pondered not reviewing this movie. But I told to myself, I have to finish this. I started the movie. I have it on my schedule. I have to do this movie. I have a feeling that a couple movies in the Christmas week, I'm probably already said it about Home Alone 4. Who knows? Because we're at the end of the week here. But anyway, yes, they did it. So he rings the bell and there's two aliens out already. And we see there's a little one walking around somewhere. He goes into a cornfield. They roll into the cornfield and you see the ship. The whole town comes running in. And they're running in. And they're going to make it, right? They're going to make it to see the ship. All of a sudden, the mayor, voiced by Don Knutts in his last role, look, a penny! And they stop. And I went, what? They're like, hey! Oh! And they run in, but the ship is already camouflaged. And of course, they don't believe him. And Dad of the Year again, the son asks his father to back him up, and the dad's like, no, I don't believe you. You suck. Paraphrasing, but basically that's what it is. The dad has no confidence. This is the worst father character ever. Bold statement. The dead Disney moms were better parents than this dad. Because at least they're remembered for good things. At least kids have fond memories of when they were alive. This dad can go to hell. I don't care what happens later in the film. I don't care if they make amends. He's a terrible character. Period. Just saying. So of course they don't believe that it was aliens. And that, meh. Even with his friends backing him up, they still don't believe him. And I call bullshit. The whole point is if you have people backing you up, people should believe you. But his friends back want to say, there are aliens. We saw them. They're like, come on, Runt. Let's go home. Shut up. All to pad out the runtime. That's it. This is an 81-minute movie. And we got pad out runtime with this fucking bullshit. Lo and behold, though, the aliens eventually attack because they left their kid behind and they think that the Earthlings kidnapped him. So it all comes to a full circle. He tries to tell the dad again what's going on. He's like, yes, we're right. The aliens were invading. He goes, no, actually, what happened was they left their kid behind and they just want him back. But the dad still doesn't believe him. And he tries to show him the little alien, but he doesn't believe him. Tries to pull away and finally Jacob's like, Dad, shut up. I'm telling you the truth. You need to believe me. And they talk over their problems. You need to start supporting me. You need to be a better father. That sort of thing. And then the alien is there. And the dad and Chicken Little get sucked up into the alien spaceship. And we get Fred Willard with a booming voice. Rest in peace, Fred Willard, by the way. And yeah, it's all a big misunderstanding. So they put back all the stuff that they disintegrated, vaporized. Because that's a thing. And the people, too. So they weren't vaporized. They were just, I don't know. And it was all a big misunderstanding. And then it's revealed that the piece that fell out of the sky was one of the cloaking things of the spaceship that keeps falling off. And went, and then we get one of the most ridiculous things. They make another movie about Chicken Little. But now he's a superhero fighting aliens, even though that has nothing to do with the movie. He's voiced by Adam West. Yeah, I don't know. Rest in peace, Adam West. God, there's not dead people in this movie. Don Knotts, Fred Willard, Gary Marshall, Adam West. Good God. But, yeah, and then the movie just kind of ends on that. Oh, and Chicken Little and Ugly Duckling, Abby, whatever. They hold wings? I don't know. But yeah, it's weird. No, thank you. I didn't need this movie. No. I'm not gonna fry it in hell though, and I'll tell you why. I could see a kid liking this movie. Like my brother, when he watched it. I could see kids enjoying this movie. And at the end of the day, that's what they're for. But from the view of an adult, it's too stereotypical for a film, for an animated kids film. The whole, they just conveniently get there, like the aliens disappear just they conveniently get there. Done to death. Maybe even by this point. It's just not worth your time, in my opinion. Play it for your kids. Your kids will like it. But you go do something else. You go clean the house or something and let your kids watch it. Because it's not, if you're an adult, it's not worth your time. No. And this is probably the worst one that it's going to be for Disney, at least. Because I don't think I've seen all the rest of these, right? Seen that once. Seen that. Yeah, that's probably the worst animated film. Pirates 4 might be the worst live action. Because even Dick Tracy was a middle of the road, right? But yeah. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Chicken Little? In the comments, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm not doing hints anymore for live action ones, at least. Because they're all pirate movies, so I don't need to hint for that. So, yes, Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest is next. Look forward to that. I'm going to watch it here in a little bit. It's 5 o'clock Central Time. I'm recording this. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. One little slip. Sorry, had it one more time.